What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. I'm your regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. Hello and welcome to Exposé with Tony Akinyemi, your Monday tonic on health and wellness. We're talking teas and spices. In part A, we extensively discussed teas. And then in part B, we are talking about spices and maybe seasonings as well in our cooking. We're looking at the various benefits derivable from using spices and seasonings in our culinary act. And last week, I mentioned two West African seasonings, very popular in Nigeria in particular, and that is Iru and Ogiri. Iru is actually also known as Dawadawa or Ogiri Okpe, and it's made from fermented locust beans. Ogiri, on the other hand, is fermented melon seeds. Today, we're going to move on from Nigeria and go on to Ghana. To pick one of the spices used in culinary act in Ghana. I haven't seen it in Nigeria. Maybe they use it in some parts of Nigeria, I don't know. But I haven't come across it. I was born in Ghana, and in my early days in Ghana as a child, I was very familiar with the use of this particular spice. This time it's not made from herbs, nor from the bark of trees, or roots, or seeds, or fruits, but it is made from an animal. This particular spice is made from fish. It's actually fermented, salted fish. Very popular in Ghana, particularly in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Now, it's called momoni. Momoni, M-O-M-O-N-I, momoni. Now, fermented and salted fish, momoni, in Ghana, offers a range of medicinal and health benefits some people don't know. Some just think, well, we just use this thing to season and spice and flavor our food. But it also offers medicinal benefits, health benefits. And this is because of its nutritional content, as well as the fermentation process. Now, and today we're going to be looking at some of the benefits associated with consuming this fermented, salted fish as a spice and seasoning for food. You know, the first one is that this fermented fish that some people call rotten fish, mischievously, is actually rich in protein. As you all know, most animal products, if not all, are rich in protein. Now, so fermented fish is a good source of high quality protein, which is essential for tissue repair and muscle building. It also contains omega-3 fatty acids. You know, many fish, many different types of fish. By the way, let me throw in a little English lesson here. The plural for fish is also fish. It's not fishes, fish. Singular fish, plural fish. All right, so that's why I said many fish. I didn't say many fishes, okay? You don't have to pay tuition for that one. It's free of charge. Now, many fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Now, and these are very beneficial for heart health. They also help, to reduce inflammation. Omega-3 oils are anti-inflammatory, and they also support brain function. Then, momoni is also rich in vitamins and minerals. This fermented fish is often, loaded with important vitamins and minerals such as vitamin D, the B vitamins. And then in the mineral category, we have selenium, which is a good antioxidant, by the way. And then iodine is also found in momoni. So the first benefit derivable from using this fermented salted fish that is popular in Ghana as a spice for your food is because of the nutritional profile. The second benefit is the antioxidant properties that it possesses, and that can help in oxidative stress reduction. Fermented fish may contain antioxidants that help to protect our cells from damage caused by free radicals, thus potentially lowering the risk of chronic degenerative diseases. Thirdly, fermented food, generally speaking, including this fermented fish, also helps in extending the shelf life. It helps to preserve the fish for longer. Momoni can be kept for weeks and months, okay, before you utilize it, unlike ordinary fish, which you have to, freeze or refrigerate to ensure its preservation. But I remember in those days in Ghana, we didn't even have refrigerators, not to talk of freezers. We were living in a village. There was no electricity in that village. There was only one store, as far as my memory can serve me, in that particular small village where we lived, that had a refrigerator that was powered by kerosene, not electricity. They poured kerosene to a compartment there and they lighted it, and you see the flame at the back of the refrigerator to keep the refrigerator cool. And they sold to us in those days ice kenke. Those of you in Ghana will know what ice kenke means. It's actually made from fermented corn as well, and sweetened and made into a drink. That was the kind of soft drink available in the village at that time. It's called ice kenke. And it was that kerosene-powered refrigerator that was used. And it was only one store in the whole of the village that I am aware of that had it in those days in the 1960s. Okay, so when fish is then fermented, you don't need a refrigerator anymore. It extends the shelf life because fermentation increases the shelf life of this fermented fish while preserving its nutritional value and making it as an accessible and available food source. The fourth area to look at as far as momoni is concerned, fermented salted fish, is that it also enhances flavor. When you use it in culinary uses, the fermentation and salting process enhances the flavor of the fish, making it a versatile ingredient in various dishes, which may encourage, a more diverse and balanced diet. Number 5, momoni also possesses potential, antimicrobial effects, because fermented foods such as fish, for example, can inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria and reduce the risk of foodborne illnesses, because the fish is first of all salted before it is fermented. So that guarantees food safety. Bacteria and germs can't thrive on it because it is salted, all right? And then the fermentation process only allows friendly flora, friendly bacteria to grow on it, okay, which is useful to the body, by the way. So it gives you this potential antimicrobial effect because of the salting and fermenting process. Number 6, we look at cultural and traditional benefits. In many cultures, traditional fermented fish is linked to local practices and dietary patterns believed to promote health and wellness. In local communities, people believe that once you ferment these foods, it enhances what it delivers by way of benefits to the body in terms of health benefits. The 7th benefit from fermented fish is sustainability, and waste reduction. When you utilize fermentation and salting technique to salt and ferment fish, for example, into momoni, that can help in preserving the fish that might otherwise go to waste, thus promoting more sustainable fishing practices. Well, I don't know. It's been long since I left Ghana. I don't know whether they still use that extensively. But in those days, with no electricity in most parts of Ghana and no refrigerators and freezers, this was a very good way to sustainably preserve fish and continue to make it available for use and derive the benefits therefrom. But now that there's electricity and refrigeration and all of that, maybe people now will choose to rather freeze their fish than to ferment and salt. So sustainability was a benefit in those days and may still be a benefit in some rural areas that don't have access to, modern day gadgets. The eighth one is mood and mental health. Mood and mental health. Now, I would describe that as nutritional psychiatry because you see, the omega-3 fatty acids that are found in most fish have been linked to better brain health and may help in reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety, boosting mental health generally. Now, you see, a few things that we may want to bear in mind as we choose to use momoni if you have not been using it before, and for those who have been using it before, maybe you can also bear this in mind, that while momoni can be beneficial, it's essential again, as in many other things, to consume it in moderation. Now, additionally, the nutritional benefits can vary depending on the type of fish that is used, the fermentation process deployed, and any additional ingredient involved in the process. Typically, it is salt, but in some cultures, maybe a few other ingredients may be added. So that is momoni. I have looked at 3 fermented products that are used as spices, predominantly in West Africa, Nigeria and Ghana. In West Africa, I would say those are my 2 countries. My parents, both my dad and my mom, were Nigerians. Both of them are late right now. They've gone home to be with the Lord. Thankfully, they were born again before they passed on. Okay? So I believe they're in heaven with Jesus, and one of these days, we will get to see face to face again and remain together to part no more forever in the presence of our Lord in heaven. All right? So my parents, Nigerians, but I was born in Ghana. So Ghana is my second country. I am a Nigerian. I am a Ghanaian. All right. So I've shared with you spices from both countries. 2 from Nigeria, 1 from Ghana. Okay? Now I will talk about herbal spices and their health benefits. Now, I'll be touching on herbal spices from around the globe, not just in West Africa this time. So we will go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about herbal spices and their health benefits in particular, and that may encourage us to start incorporating them to spice our food and spice up our lives. Don't go away. I'll be back very shortly.
Meet Emily. She's passionate about living a healthy life, but finds it difficult to access information on health and wellness.
Cancer is survivable.
That is until she discovered the online healthy living training offered by Reverend Tony Akinyemi on lms.rafainstitute.org. The online healthy living training program is a comprehensive interactive course that covers topics such as nutrition, fitness, stress management, and mental health. The course is designed to provide participants with practical tips and strategies to improve their health and well-being. Emily is now equipped with the knowledge and skills she needs to lead a healthy life. Join Emily and countless others in living a healthy life by signing up for the online healthy living training program today.
Welcome back. This is still Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. We're talking about teas and spices with special emphasis on spices during the second half in this series, during this season. And I've looked at 3 spices, all 3 of them fermented products, very popular in West Africa. By the way, West Africa is one of the spices belt on the globe. All right? We have looked at Iru, fermented locust beans. We've looked at Ogiri, fermented melon seeds. And we've looked at Momoni, fermented and salted fish. They are all used in small quantities to spice up our food, and they deliver enormous health benefits to us. Now we move on to herbal spices, the use of herbs as spices. Now, let me sound a note of warning before I dive into this, and that is the fact that some herbs are usually or sometimes tainted or contaminated with toxic substances, particularly toxic metals, such as lead, cadmium, arsenic, So watch out. If you're using spices, particularly purchased from, sources that are not credible, you need to be very careful. Make sure that you are sourcing your herbs from sources that are credible and lab-tested products that have been checked, particularly for toxic metals. There's no lead contamination, there's no mercury, there's no cadmium, there's no arsenic, okay? No aluminum, no other toxic substances, no mold. These are very, very important things to note, because you might be looking for the benefits of those spices and you might be buying what you didn't bargain for. So that's a very powerful note of warning right there. Now, spices can be health-giving. Now, whereas artificial flavors only enhance the taste of food, or more appropriately, alter the taste or the flavor of food, and they may end up damaging our health, natural spices, on the other hand, they enhance the flavor or add flavor to our food, and they also offer health benefits. So you are getting 2 for the price of 1. And so we're going to be looking at a list of some common health-giving spices along with their health benefits emphasized. We're going to start with one of the most popular ones, and that is turmeric. Again, when we talked about teas, turmeric featured because you can make turmeric into tea. You can make it into an elixir, and you can also use it as a spice, and it offers many benefits. Now, turmeric, like I said, if you make it into these different things, add it to your smoothie, take it in capsule form, or use it as a spice in cooking, however you use it, turmeric, particularly its active compound, curcumin, which is a curcuminoid, has a long history of use in traditional medicine as well as in modern science. Modern science particular is increasingly validating many of the potential health benefits that have been touted or highlighted in folklore medicine, if you choose, And here are some of the well-studied health and medicinal benefits of turmeric. Number 1, its anti-inflammatory properties. Curcumin has potent anti-inflammatory effects, and that makes it beneficial for conditions such as arthritis and other inflammatory diseases. Number 2, turmeric also has antioxidant effects. It's rich in antioxidants, and it can help to neutralize free radicals in the body. And this may help to reduce oxidative stress and lower the risk of chronic diseases. It's also good for digestive health. Turmeric may aid digestion. How does it do that? It simply helps to stimulate bile production in the liver. And this has been used traditionally to help with gastrointestinal issues. Now, if there is a culture that uses turmeric a lot, as well as garlic, by the way, and that is the Indian culture. Most of my teachers in high school were Indians, and they did a great job in teaching us. I love those Indian teachers. They helped us to have a sure footing in our academics, particularly in the sciences. And in those days, as teenagers and young, adults, we noticed that they cooked with a lot of garlic and a lot of turmeric. You know, I was particularly close to some of my teachers in high school. You know, they taught me physics, they taught me chemistry, they taught me biology, mathematics, further maths. We used to call it additional maths in those days. And Mr. Varugis in particular, my maths teacher and further maths teacher, would occasionally invite me to his home, and I would visit with him to help with one or two things because he liked me and I liked him. And the whole kitchen would be smelling garlic and turmeric. You know, turmeric may aid in digestion because it can stimulate, bile production. Now, number 4, turmeric can also help with heart health. Curcumin may improve endothelial function, and it can reduce the risk of heart disease by, improving overall cardiovascular health. Now, the inner lining of the blood vessels is what is called the endothelium. And so curcumin may improve endothelial function and help with the vasculature in the body. All right? Now, turmeric also can support brain health. There's some evidence suggesting that curcumin can increase levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And this may help to improve cognitive function and lower the risk of neurological diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. So that's how turmeric can help in boosting brain health. Turmeric can also help in cancer prevention. Some studies suggest that curcumin may have anti-cancer properties by, affecting multiple cellular signaling pathways, as well as inhibiting tumor growth. That's why, turmeric is part and parcel of my personal regimen that I use to support cancer patients that are undergoing cancer treatment. I ensure that they take in, at least 1,000 milligrams of turmeric 3 times a day. That's minimum. It can be higher depending on, individual situations. Turmeric can also help in mood enhancement. Some research indicates that curcumin may have antidepressant properties and can enhance a person's mood, thus potentially helping with conditions like depression, and what have you. So in case you want to try it out, if you feel a little bit depressed, why not just add turmeric to your cooking as a spice? And who knows, that may be just what you need to elevate your mood. Of course, you have to do a few other things as well. You have to do sensible sunshine exposure. Don't keep yourself indoors all the time if you want to elevate your mood. Go under the sun, early morning sun in particular. Get some fresh air. Exercising also boosts your endorphin production that can help you, to feel good and feel better moods. And then, of course, you can use things like St. John's wort as a herb to boost your emotions. It can help as a mild herbal antidepressant. St. John's wort, W-O-R-T, St. John's wort. Now, turmeric can also help with skin health because of its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It may be beneficial for various skin conditions, including eczema and acne. And then number 9, turmeric can also boost immunity. It can enhance immune function, helping the body to fight infections and diseases. And number 10, metabolic health. Curcumin may help to improve insulin sensitivity as well, just like Ceylon cinnamon. Curcumin in turmeric can also improve insulin sensitivity, thus helping to regulate blood sugar levels, making it potentially helpful for people with diabetes and those who want to prevent diabetes. Now, I must say that while turmeric and curcumin, have many potential health benefits, it's essential to note that their bioavailability, I mentioned what bioavailability meant the other time, their bioavailability, how well the body is able to absorb them and utilize them for all these benefits, that's the degree to which they are absorbed and utilized in the body. That's the bioavailability. So their bioavailability is relatively low, except you complement them with some other substances that will enhance their absorption. So it is often recommended that when you're using turmeric, either as tea, as an elixir, in cooking or in smoothies, whatever, make sure you combine it with 2 substances to aid or to enhance their bioavailability. One is black pepper. It contains piperine, which is a natural compound that increases curcumin's bioavailability. And then you also need to include a second substance, some kind of fat or oil, to enhance its absorption, because curcumin is fat soluble. So you can put maybe a teaspoonful of olive oil or a teaspoonful of coconut oil. If you add turmeric to your smoothie, you also add coconut oil or olive oil or an avocado pear, something that has fat or oil in it, and the two go together to help to improve the bioavailability of curcumin. All right, so let me go over what we have talked about today, and we are going to round off because of time. I do not want to go into the next spice so that we are not rushing for time. So the herbal spices we have looked at so far, we have looked at iru, we have looked at ogiri, we have looked at momoni, and we have looked at turmeric. And I've mentioned that when it comes to herbal spices, make sure the one you are buying don't have any kind of toxic contamination. Be sure of your sources. Now, turmeric is the one we have talked about. It has anti-inflammatory properties, antioxidant properties. It aids digestive health, heart health, all right? And it's also very good for brain health, cancer prevention, mood enhancement, skin health, okay, immune support, and metabolic health. And we have said that it may not be well absorbed in the body except you complement it with black pepper and or oil and fat. And that will improve and enhance its bioavailability. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. One more time, please share it with your friends, your family, and your colleagues. See you same time, same platform next week on Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. What we need is not more medication, but more education. For the best prescription is knowledge. To be informed is to be transformed. To be uninformed is to be deformed. And I urge you to make use of the information you have and benefit from the many, many pieces of information we're sharing. God bless you. Have a terrific week. I love you. Bye-bye.
Meet Emily. She's passionate about living a healthy life, but finds it difficult to access information on health and wellness.
Cancer is so findable.
That is until she discovered the online healthy living training offered by Reverend Tony Akinyemi on lms.rafainstitute.org. The online healthy living training program is a comprehensive interactive course that covers topics such as nutrition, fitness, stress management, and mental health. The course is designed to provide participants with practical tips and strategies to improve their health and well-being. Emily is now equipped with the knowledge and skills she needs to lead a healthy life. Join Emily and countless others in living a healthy life by signing up for the online healthy living training program today.